Former President Goodluck Jonathan Blowhot. In his words, he said, the ruling class is taking the Nigerian people for granted. He said the reason why they are not behaving well is because we have refused to take action. We have refused to tell them enough is enough. I can tell you, this misruling of APC is touching everyone. I can tell you. But before we hear the former president, before we take a listen at his clip I'm about to show you, I want us to take a short clip, a short look rather, at what Tunde Bakare had to say, okay? After listening to him, we'll come back and dissect it shortly before listening to that of Jonathan Goodluck. Thank you. But please, before diving into this, do me a favor by giving this video a thumbs up and please endeavor to share.
Jonathan, you will not sleep well. Those who are supporting you will not sleep well. When you wake up in the morning, you will be migraine. In the evening, you will be bellyache. If you don't leave quickly, what happened to Abacha will happen to you. If you don't leave quickly, what happened to Yaradua will happen to you.
All right, thank you so much for watching. Nigerians, do we still need to look to the right, left, front and back, or consult any oracle or a prophet to know the cause of our problem? You see, as a man of God, I don't like agreeing with some folks who keep saying that church and men of God are the problem of Nigeria. But somehow, I concur with them. Those that say church is the problem, I wouldn't say that all church are the problem. No, I wouldn't say that. I would not say that. But I think all these men of God, right, who are constituting nuisance on the altar, the time has come. We have to be calling them out. The time has come. We have to be giving them bomber to bomber. Now, this is Tunde Bakare laying curses on former President Jonathan Goodluck. All manner of despicable stuff. I'm trying to just mind my words, okay? When you're on Facebook and YouTube, you must behave yourself. You see all the venom that this guy unleashed on Jonathan Goodluck because of subsidy, and now his brother is there. The question is, what is he doing? The way you organize protest, save Nigeria, has it done same thing to save Nigeria? By the way, let me make this note to you Nigerians, in case those of you were not very too young as the time this protest took place in 2012. Yeah, he makes all these silly statements, The current president, Pablo Escobar, was also one of those that did this, okay? He unleashed all this. Now, since his brother is there, he has maintained a seal lip. The only time he voiced out, in the State of the Nation, where he also delved into that issue of Natasha, as usual, many of us predicted him that they will summon him, they will call him, they will invite him, to Aso Rock, and they will check his pocket. He did that in the era of Buhari. He said he's going to lead the protest. 2 weeks later, they invited him. He came back. My guy can't turn to coward. Now, he visited Pablo Escobar. The last video and picture I saw with him is him shaking our oppressor, the Pablo Escobar of Nigeria, shaking him. Now, you can see, you don't need to 100% disagree with those who are saying that church is Nigeria problem. You don't need to disagree with them. It's because of the shenanigans of some of these some of these things, these elements that call themselves pastors. How on earth, because I'm a Christian, I know the word, I will not call such a thing, this being that is supporting Nigeria oppressor, I will not accord him any form of respect. My brother, not this. When it comes to these things like they are not they get respect to. Number one, respect is reciprocal. Number two, respect is aid. The question is, in what way has this thing, these elements, you understand, this bad behavior so-called Tunde Bakare, in what way has he aimed my respect now? That's the question. Because not the problem, you guys like deceiving yourself, you don't like facing reality. In what way has he aimed my respect? Somebody who organized Save Nigeria massive protest, one of them was there. Now, under the person, the country has become something else. The person you protest against, under his leadership, we are the best economy in Africa. The person you brought in now, the person was one of you that is not currently the president. Under him, we are poverty capital of the world. Nigeria can no longer, according to research I read that day, I learned that currently now, About 80% of Nigeria languish in hunger. Only 20% can afford to get 2-3 square meters to eat a day. Only 20%. 80% are in hunger. Now, he has better siblings. He spoke on Natasha. He went there, he changed his mind. Do you understand? So, in what way has he earned my respect? Okay, let me proceed. Election will come. You will see some of these politicians going to churches, going to altar to go and be campaigning. I want to ask you, friends. Have you ever seen any politician going to, national mosque in Abuja or any mosque to go and campaign for politicians? But in Nigeria, in churches, it's a welcome development. How will the Muslim, with those in the other side, how will they respect the church with this kind of clown, this guy big? If you come here and tell me say respect man of God, respect him, the way thing I go tell you, the way I tell. I feel consumed by my people said you're good for you. I mean, man of God not fit on that one. You understand? So it's irritating, it's sickening. His brother is there. He's there maintaining sleep. And some mumushous element, as they say, see out of tribal sentiment, bigotry, they are still trying to campaign for that idol, that sculpture, that babalawo, the father of all liars, we have as president. Yeah, anyway, before I still show you that of Jonathan Goodluck, we're going to watch it, okay? Permit me to show you one short clip of one of the Northerners saying, analyzing the best person for the job, okay, in the next election, 2027 election. Let's take a listen at it, and after that, we are going to be listening to the former president. Please endeavor you share this video until it gets to them.
So the only way to defeat this current government is to have a candidate that will have the capacity to do so. And you can't come and put innuendos and rhetoric and say, so it must be the North. Pursuing generalization statement on general terms without specifically stating what candidate you think should be that. For me, I think that candidate should be Peter Obi. Candidate that have moved that goes around from state to state, that move from Jigawa to from Abuja to Kafasha to Kaduna, even to Olamaboro in Kogi State, and I've been to several technical institution, nursing school. We can't have people who are not showing compassion, who are not showing that they have the capacity to be able to know the terrain of this country. Because the problem we have put people in government who have not been able to even know what is the route that link between Ogugu to Enugu. What is that road? People don't travel, they travel on shop. But I have seen a candidate. I will not come to do a statement on that I will not mention name of those I think that can win this thing. And if you look at the last election, there was no political entrenchment. There was no political structure. People say, oh, there are 3 people tweeting in one room. There are no governors, there are no senators. But that election, Obi has proven beyond reasonable doubt that he has the public, the people have interest in him, because it's about the messaging, it's about the acceptance, because you can be popular and then you go to the ballot and there's no result, but people accept you. That's where your popularity translates into vote. So you look at the Southern election that was conducted, despite the fact that APC was in control of the structure in the entire south of our country. If PDP was in control of, within the south, PDP was in control of Delta. In that Delta, they had a vice presidential candidate for the PDP, and Atiku won the vote. Peter Obi won the vote there over 80%. You have the Southern election statistics where Peter Obi had 44.5%, Atiku had 19.4%, Tinubu had 35.5%, and Kwakwaso had 0.48%. Where he defeated every candidate that participated in the South. And when you come to the North, he had a substantial share. You have to take away the rigging, because the people say, oh, he didn't win the election. People are claiming he won the election. We need to go to the IRF and see that there are a lot of irregularities, a lot of forged results that were posted there. And if you look at the BBC report, expose done on Rivers State, including Premium Times, you will find out that Peter Obi defeated every other candidate in Rivers State. These are data that are verifiable, that you can reach out to. We can't just sit down and then come to a station and then try to put up candidates that are not going out there to sell themselves, to go around to connect with Nigerians, to show compassion to people who are going through crisis, like what happened in Makwa. Obi has tried to reach all parts of this country, working to show the interest that, yes, education is very key and very important. If a nation must grow, if a nation must develop, and you look at the investment in healthcare. Right now we have an healthcare system that our president cannot even go to the hospital 2 weeks before Buhari left office. 21 billion naira was invested in the ASO clinic, weeks, and it was the place. There was a ceremony to open up that place, but nobody's using it today. So we have a situation where we need to have people who believe in the system, people who know the system, who have traveled across length and breadth of this country by road to know what the people are feeling. And I see Obi doing that on every weekly basis, except it's not in this country. Okay. So we must connect those dots, and I will not hide behind one finger to say, oh, it must be South. I have narrowed it from South to Peter Obi.
Okay.
That's what terrorists do everything.
I think the ambiguity in many of these rulings creates a situation whereby, litigants will now start interpreting the law and all of that. But whatever it is, the best place to seek clarity is still the law.
All right.
It's still the law court, not on the streets. And that brings me to my final point, which is as follows. Senator Natasha Akpoti mobilizing street urchins to storm the national...
Are the street urchins? Dr. Batoya.
Well, I saw some people, behaving like street urchins.
Okay.
Going to the National Assembly, I think it's also wrong. Because within the purview of the law, it amounts to self-help. It amounts to taking the laws into your hands.
Right.
Whatever the interpretation of the law on either side, it does not lie in your powers to enforce the law.
Right. Okay.
If you see any ambiguity, as I've said, resulting from the nature of the ruling, you go back to the same court.
Right.
And I think all of us should operate within the purview of the rule of law, not resort to self-help, and not mobilize street urchins to enforce whatever our interpretation of the law is.
All right. Before I come to you, I know you want to spit fire. In the meantime,
trust me now, you're not Lorraine.
Aisha Yusuf there, you know that she's such a strong advocate, women's rights advocate. Why are you laughing?
A strong street urchin.
No. I never said. I said strong advocate. Go ahead. Rufy on fire.
With due respect, those that followed Natasha, they were not street urchins. They were bold Nigerians that stood for their convictions and what they believe in. Secondly, I'm here with the CTC and it's clear. Let's not dilly-dally over this matter. Let's look for empirical facts. Thus, an order is hereby made for the plaintiff to pay a fine in sum of 5 million naira to the federal government treasury and publish a public apology to the court in 2 dailies on our Facebook page within 7 days to purge herself of contempt. Those are facts on ground. So the apology is not to the Senate. And let's not stop rigmaroling this thing. It's to the courts. I think we've stated that over and over again. After I had to read the CTC. The judgment is clear. As if we want to re-go room and we want to act funny. When we want to do a K, we will act funny. The judgment, the same judgment that stated, let's read it together, please. I have the CTC here. I like to talk to facts. The same judgment that stated this, that to suspend a member of a period of 6 months to a suspension of 180 days and the same number of days, and the member is expected to sit in the House representing the people, that I find excessive and overreaching, noting that it will prevent a member from complying with Section 63. And she further said, I am of the opinion that the Senate has the power to review the provisions of the Senate rules and even amend them, act both for being excessive and overreaching. So the facts are clear.
All right.
So I think based on this, she went there to assert herself.
Is it the last day? Was it the last day of sitting?
Yeah, because they are going on recess.
I believe one day we all Nigerians will say we will no longer accept the wrong thing. And the day we all collectively say we will no longer accept the wrong thing, we the political class will behave normally. People must reject us if we behave wrongly. Maybe one day we will have 2 big buildings in Abuja where we will have places where we put pictures of people, even if they are dead, and say these are the people who really messed up this country. So that their grandchildren will come and know that their grandfathers were part of the problems of the country.